So let me explain. This is Johnny Wilkinson, England's number 10, the kicker, right? And he's surrounded by other players. Now, he's not actually the player I'm going to tell you about. The player I'm going to tell you about is the guy stood here like this. Okay? This is Matt Dawson. Now, let me talk you through. I'm going to take you back. It's like a film. This is the ending. I'm now going to take you back 4 years to the point at which the England rugby coach was appointed. His name was Clive Woodward. Clive Woodward took over the England rugby team about 4 years earlier when England were, frankly, a joke. Nobody believed England would ever win a major rugby match again. And this guy came in to coach the England rugby team. And one of the first things he did was that he met each of the players who were in the current England squad one by one, individually. He had them in, one at a time, into his office. And he went through the same process with them. Now, Clive loves flip charts. And in his office, he had 2 of them, one either side of his desk. And on this particular day, he was meeting Matt Dawson. So Matt Dawson comes into his office like a nervous schoolchild being called into the school principal's office. And he sits down in the chair and he's shuffling on his hands, a bit worried about what Clive, the teacher's going to say to him. And Clive Woodward stands up. He says, "Thanks for coming, Matt." He said, "Now, I've been through this with all the other players and I'm going to go through it with you as well." He said, "On this flip chart here, underneath the cover page," he said, "I've done some analysis and I've worked out where you come in the top 10 players playing in your position in British rugby." He said, "Where do you before I turn the page, how good do you think you are? Where do you think you come in the top 10? And Matt was nervous, and he said, "Well, this is a big, tough rugby player, right? I'm hoping I'm pretty high because, you know, I'm in the England squad. I train hard. I work hard. I want to be the best I can be." And he said, all right. He said, "Well, I'll show you. I'll put you out of your misery." And he threw back the cover, and Matt broke into a smile because in British rugby, according to the analysis at that time, the England coaching team had him number 1 in England. And Matt was like an excited child. "Fantastic! So excited! So excited, boss." Right? He said, "Are you really happy with it?" He said, "Yeah, I'm thrilled, thanks, absolutely fantastic." He said, "No, really, are you really excited?" He said, "No, really, I'm excited." He said, "That's interesting. Because on this flip chart here, I've done some analysis. And I've got on this list the top 10 players in your position in the world. Where do you think you come on this list?" And Matt Dawson's going, "I don't know. Just tell me." He pulls back the list, and little Matt's face goes, because he's number 8, according to the analysis. So Clive Woodward turns to Matt Dawson and he says this. He says, "Matt, I've given every player the same task. You have 1 month to go away and work out why we're rating you at 1 in England but 8 in the world. We want you to analyse the people above you on that list because we believe you can be in the top 2. And then in a month's time, you're going to come back and present to the entire coaching staff what you think we need to do to help you become number 1 in the world in your position. Are you up for it?" And Dawson went, "Yeah, absolutely," left. Now, the interesting thing about this process was that 1/3 of all of the players who were playing for England at that time never played for England again. Because they turned round to the coach and went, "That's ridiculous. It's your job to coach me and make me better." Clive Woodward said, "We never had those guys play for us again." He said, "The interesting thing about Matt Dawson was he came back 2 weeks later and he knocked on the door. And he said, 'Coach, I've done what you asked me to do and I'm ready to present. Can I present to you?' And The coach went, yeah. And he got the coaching staff together, and Matt Dawson presented. And not only did he present the analysis on his own performance and what he needed to get better, but included in that, he realized that as a key member of the team, he needed to understand all the players around him that he was also responsible for. And he presented analysis on them, and not only how the coaches needed to support him to be better, but how he and the players needed to understand each other's statistics in order to support each other, in order for all of them to move forward together to become truly world class. Move on 4 years, just before this picture, about 1 minute before this picture. This is the last minute of the Rugby World Cup final. The scores are level. The times are ticking. We're in overtime. The ball comes out to Matt Dawson. And what Jonny Wilkinson, the big hero, the kicker, everyone in the team can see the clock, 60 seconds, 59 seconds. And the team are screaming at Matt Dawson, pass it to Jonny. Let Jonny kick it. We've got a chance to win the World Cup. Dawson knew his players inside out. They were currently 67 metres from the line. He knew that Jonny Wilkinson's chances of kicking a goal from that distance were less than 20%. He knew, because of the analysis that he'd done, that Jonny Wilkinson's average chance of kicking a goal changed dramatically at 48 metres. At 48 metres, he had over a 60% chance of kicking a goal. So Dawson kept the ball, put it back in, and they pushed the team further forward. It came out again, about 56 yards, 56 metres. Kick it, let's give it Jonny. No, not going to do it. Put it back in. The time's ticking down. There's literally seconds left. They break through 45. So now they're inside the distance. Dawson passes it to Wilkinson. Wilkinson takes the ball, kicks the ball over the posts. England win the World Cup. Now, the point about me finishing with this story, I hope, is to link everything I've said together back into the importance of sport. What we need from you is the ability to believe that it's not their responsibility to teach you everything you need to know. What we need from you, what represents true greatness in almost every field, is the ability for people to think for themselves, to analyze their own performance, to seek help from others, to collaborate, to work together, to support each other. It's not a one-way journey. It's interactive, it's collaborative, and it's about your ability to take risks, to be prepared to fail, and to learn from your mistakes. If we can achieve that mindset in education, we can create world-class people for a world-class future. Thank you very much.